Well, welcome to a new episode of Vertical Christianity. And today we're looking at the whole idea of rest and Sabbath and what that means practically for us in our daily lives, our weekly lives, monthly, yearly. How do we establish rhythms of rest in our lives? And it's such an important topic that one of the 10 Commandments is about taking a Sabbath rest. Now, we're going to do different playlists on this channel, on the Vertical Living Ministries YouTube channel. But one of the series we're going to do is going to be on theology. Vertical theology is what we're calling it. And I'm going to actually tackle a whole episode on Sabbath and what that means. But today, I just want to talk about what it means to be rest. So sort of really an application from the idea of Sabbath. And I want to begin by telling two stories, two illustrations that I think are helpful to set up our discussion of this. First of all, according to a Greek legend in ancient Athens, a man noticed the great storyteller Aesop playing childish games with some little boys. And he laughed and he jeered at Aesop and asking him why he wasted his time in such frivolous activity. And Aesop responded by picking up a bow, loosening its string, and placing it on the ground. And then he said to the critical Athenian, "Now answer the riddle. If you can, tell us what the unstringed bow implies." And the man looked at it for several moments, but had no idea what point Aesop was trying to make. And Aesop explained, if you keep a bow always bent, it will eventually break. But if you let it go slack, it will be more fit for use when you want it. So people are also like that. That's why we all need to take time to rest. For instance, when you fly on a plane, one of the only instructions you get while taxiing before taking off is the idea of putting on the oxygen mask on yourself before you help your child on a plane. And the point is that you're no good to others unless you are good yourself. So we need to, if we're going to be work well and live well, we have to incorporate rhythms of rest in our lives. Augustine said, "You have made us for yourself, O God, and our hearts are restless until they find their rest in you." Vance Havner said, "Jesus knows we must come apart and rest a while, or else we may just plain come apart." And Eugene Peterson said, "Sabbath is not primarily about us or how it benefits us. It is about God and how God forms us." I don't see any way out of it. If we're going to live appropriately in the creation, we must keep the Sabbath. In Matthew 11:28-30, Jesus said some of my favorite words in the Bible, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I'm gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Now I want to encourage you to implement a daily time to rest with God. This acronym, REST, retreat, get away for some time with God in silence and solitude. The E is enjoy, spend time enjoying God. According to the rabbis, the goal of the Sabbath was to delight in God. In Psalm 16:11, the psalmist says, "You, God, make known to me the path of life. In your presence, there's fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore." The S in rest is stop. Sabbath means to stop or cease. By detaching from what we normally engage in, we're reminded that God is God, we're not, and you may think you can't break away from work for an extended period of time, but God will always honor your rest. He was in control before you came on the scene, and he will be in control long after you depart from the scene. And the T in rest is talk. Devote time to conversing with God, but don't speak the whole time. Sit and listen to God. Singing and waiting on the Lord can teach us in ways that words can't. Or sitting and waiting on the Lord can teach us in ways that words can't. Sit in God's presence with no agenda. Notice his creation and enjoy his company. Implement a daily rest with him. Retreat, enjoy, stop, talk. Implement a weekly time of rest. In the Old Testament, in the Ten Commandments, we're told one of the commandments is remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy in Exodus 28. God, in resting from work, he wasn't tired. He was implementing a rhythm of life for us, modeling that we need to enjoy what he's made. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is as far as I'm concerned, but it's important that you take a 24-hour period out of your normal routine of daily life and make that a Sabbath. Peter Scazzero has stated that for most of us, our role has outpaced our soul. Could it be that you're working for rest and not from rest? For many of us, what we do for God is not sustained by our time with God. So we need to learn how to work from rest rather than to work for rest. In our next time together, we're going to focus on how to hear from God using the acrostic HEAR, hear. And until then, may you enjoy resting in who you are in Christ and enjoy your time daily resting in him, basking in his presence, living the abundant life in Christ Jesus, and overflowing with his joy for his glory.